Welcome back to the Marion County Midday Magazine. It's now time for Let's Talk Pella. My guest today is U.S. Senate candidate David Young.
Right, David, so we've got you here in Pella, and I know Irene's always proud to get candidates here so that people can meet you face-to-face. We just saw you talking to a likely voter. What's it like to come to the towns and actually get people who can give you fresh ideas right off the streets?
It's exciting because this is a two-way deal here. You know, the give and take between those who are pursuing public office and those who vote. So it's very important to get in front of voters, potential voters, and understand where they're coming from on issues and what their concerns are that are affecting their lives every day.
You got first in with bush quail, if I'm not mistaken, in '92. What inspired you back then? It's been 20 years or so. What inspired you to start this path to where you're at today?
Well, I graduated from Drake University, and I started looking at my paycheck and started wondering who this FICA person was that was taking money out of my paycheck. And that was about the time of the Bush Quayle '92 race against Clinton Gore and Perot Stockdale, and I just was really passionate about issues and public service and my state, and so that's what led me to want to work for Iowa.
And I thought it was really cool. So you just head east, and you're a young guy, and you just say, I'm going to take on Washington. So you head there. You can't get in with Grassley, so what do?
You keep trying, and that's what Iowans do. We just keep at it. We roll up our sleeves every day and work, and by the grace of God, I got hired as his chief of staff and have been working for Iowans for the past 7 years, working by his side in meetings with Iowans every day and seeing the beast of Washington up close, which is very ugly.
Well, and let's talk about that. Now you're running for Senate yourself. What does David Young represent, or what do you want people to think of when they think of your name?
Common sense. Just the things that we hear at the coffee shop or at the co-op, common sense solutions, reforms. You know, I've never lost that outside Iowa perspective when I was working for Senator Grassley in Washington, and so just common sense solutions. 'Cause like I told the folks today, there's more common sense on any street corner in Pella or Van Meter than all together in Washington, D.C.
So one thing I heard you referencing is that one reason Grassley's so grounded is he comes home to Iowa. He's not just living in D.C. all the time. Is that something you'd plan to do, is to be right back here in the roots, hearing from Iowans each and every, at least, week?
Well, I live in Van Meter where I was born and raised, so I got to check on the house and get around and see folks all over the state because I want to know what Iowans are thinking every day on every issue. And that's the best way to keep in touch with them, aside from reading letters or answering phone calls from them.
What do you think the most important issue for Iowa is right now that you could help represent if you were elected?
They're concerned about a $17 trillion debt, how it affects them right now, and how it affects the future generations. $17 trillion, and you can blame both sides. I'll be a taxpayer watchdog. I'm a conservative Republican. But, at times, Republicans have lost their way, so I will make sure that Iowa is represented well with the taxpayer watchdog.
Let's say you are elected. Is this the top of where you're trying to go, or do you have further aspirations?
I just want to do everything I can for the state that I love, and this seems like the best thing to do. So I don't have any aspirations beyond just wanting to represent Iowans in the U.S. Senate.
Very good. As we wrap up here, David, we appreciate your time. What's one last parting note you'd like to share with people from Pella to remember you by?
Well, this isn't the first, second, or third time I've been to Marion County and Pella, and I'll be back.
Very good. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
This has been today's Let's Talk Pella. Stay tuned to the Marion County Midday Magazine. Today's official weather eye meteorologist forecast is next.